taking a shower this morning?
I've got plenty of room tonight.
Okay, if you see on the top of your agenda, there's a new thing. Went to officers training. This is one of the things. It says on there, and will say on all agendas forthcoming. In the event this meeting is canceled due to inclement weather or other emergency situations, conditions, the meeting will be held on the following day, same time, same location. So that just means if Monday night we can't, we're here Tuesday night. That's what that means. And then the second paragraph is also from that, and Daniel had done more info on that. In accordance with Minnesota statutes 13D, one or more school board members may or may not participate in this meeting by interactive technology. At least one member will be physically present at the regular meeting location, and all votes will be conducted by roll call if one or more members are participating remotely. So that will happen if it does, so like tonight, Chuck could stream in if he wanted. He still has to be in a public place, I believe, or whoever, still has to be public so that anybody can.
They changed that, Linda. Because I did clarify that in our meeting.
Okay.
Or in our class, that you don't have to be in a public, because if that was somebody going through chemotherapy that could not be exposed or something to that, they could do it from their home.
Is it something about you have to give them your physical address? There used to be something like that too.
There used to be, yeah.
They've kind of changed it around, but they're at least
They
giving us
changed
the
it to allow people with
okay.
chemotherapy
Yeah.
or immune suppressed,
Yeah.
so they can participate.
We have to have somebody at the we have to have a physical location where people can participate, and anybody who remotely participates has to be clearly visible, and they clearly hear them, so they have a secure, like a quality connection, so if it's cutting in and out, that wouldn't suffice, to my understanding.
Okay. All good with that? Just new things that we gotta do. Something else to keep us busy. Roll call. Linda's here. Chuck is excused. Lori?
Here.
Lisa is excused as well. Jeremiah?
Here.
Tom?
Here.
Tanya?
Here.
Okay. Mr. Ludvigson, is there any additions to the agenda?
To the consent agenda, the resignation of Vanessa Bakewell, paraprofessional at the elementary.
And she just gets put in there, right?
Yeah, it's just acknowledging.
Yep. Any additions or changes to the regular agenda?
No.
Okay, then I would need a motion to accept the regular agenda.
I'll make the motion.
I'll second.
Jeremiah.
I have a question on that.
Yep. Lori, any discussion then? Tom?
We were just handed this new contract. Are we also voting on that tonight?
That'd be under new business, and I guess that will be part of the discussion under individual contract. So,
I think we might want to look at it before we open it up.
Okay. That's something to do, because I would like two
Yeah.
members.
So we can say it later on, so. Any more discussion? Any further discussion? Any further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And then another quick change that also I learned in class. We're putting the guests up higher on the agenda because if they want to address something in the regular agenda or in the consent agenda, they have an opportunity to do that before we discuss it. And therefore, we could use whatever they have to say in our decisions. So it's just a change of place. So that's why that's up there where it is. And I see we don't have any guests back there. All right. Then the consent agenda. We already added the resignation of an elementary para. Any other questions or discussion on that? Then I would need a motion.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Tom? Any discussion? First motion was Jeremiah and Lori.
Yes, I mean on the consent agenda.
Oh, Lori and Tom.
Okay, sounds good.
Any discussion? Further discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Reports and correspondence. We don't have any student reps either. Activities.
Yeah.
What can I answer about the sixth grade governance stuff? Do you just want me to explain it more? What do you
Well, I
get
understand
it? Okay.
sixth graders cannot participate.
Right. So we have been allowing sixth graders to participate in specifically track and cross country. Last year, when the State High School League put in the ninth grade governance, that changed the eligibility a little bit. So now if sixth grade practices with like our JV or varsity kids, it actually makes those guys ineligible and they could be out for, I think it's 2 weeks. So in order for sixth grade to participate, they would have to have like a separate location, practice time, and coaches that are different than our 7 through 12. And we just don't have the capability of doing that. Angela Bitz has also started like a track club, and Brad and I are meeting with her tomorrow. She did it last year, and she ran one like community ed camp type stuff, and then another competitive type of aspect that my daughter Berkeley did. And I mean, they have the opportunities to still participate in something at a different spot, just not through, I guess, State High School League, if that makes sense. So I guess I would like to vote on just making sure we're on the same page at sixth grade. And then also sixth graders are not covered under catastrophic insurance. So that is also a huge portion.
So do you need a motion out of us?
I think so, just because right now we're allowing it and we're just taking it away for policy reasons.
How do
I
you
would-
word that? Any ideas, Brad? You've done it too.
I would just say that you have to, subject to the MSHSL new
Yeah.
policy,
Sixth graders will be no longer
redacting the ability
the
to
sixth graders.
You get that, Jen?
MSHSL.
I'll work about it.
Okay, so we're,
That was really well said. Good
that's
job.
very done, well done, yes, yes. So we're gonna go vote on the recommendation of the high school in number 1.
Yeah. Yep.
And then our own field, so that motion wording, just like Brad said. Oh, word.
Can you repeat it?
Yeah,
No, that's her job. So, I need that motion then.
So moved.
I'll second.
And then the banners, Chad Basil.
We have to discuss
sorry,
that and make the motion.
Sorry, my bad. I'll be patient.
Okay, any discussion on that? Any more questions for them? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Banners.
Okay, so Chad Basil and I had kind of been talking about just getting more, I guess, school spirit around town, and I think we had brought this up at one point in a different meeting of just like the banners that were around the school, like on the light poles. The city is willing to pay for most of it, and they are willing to set them up, take them down, store them. I haven't really gotten too far into the money aspect, just because I wanted to get permission to move forward with it. I guess that's.
So you'll
that's
have
what it-
all 3 banners that you have posted, or just?
I think they would like to do a variation of like all 3.
Chad said that they have funding secured to pay for all that.
Yep, and a lot of companies in town have donated money for it as well, so.
So
Yeah.
if we approve this tonight, we will take it to the city, here, we'll go to the city council on Wednesday. If they approve it, then we'll move forward. And basically, the city's responsibility of taking them up and putting them down, which they're doing anyway.
Right.
How many are there? I mean,
I think that could be up for discussion. Right now, it's kind of just around the high school and the elementary. But I think they want to further it, like, what gas station is that by the high school? Senex? Senex, they want to further it out, so it's not just around the immediate school.
There was someone about the
Football field, yep. The Thunder Stadium was also talked about putting stuff more around there as well.
and we should not have a financial.
If anything, I think it would be very small
Okay.
and not too much to blink your eyes at, in my opinion.
I think it would be cool.
Yeah.
And all three of those banners were nice looking.
Yep. Yeah, Nick does a really good job.
And I would imagine we need a motion to approve.
Yep.
Make a motion to approve the banners.
Does the motion have to include a price range in there as well? Or can we just, because if we have to put any funding in it and we don't include that in the motion, Kelsey may have to come back and ask for
And
that.
they'll have to come back and ask for money.
Yeah.
So,
I think at this time being, we were told no cost, we go with no cost and.
You wanna say something like discretion up to like 100 or some small number, so that if there's a minute here or there cost, that we wouldn't have a board vote saying that you couldn't spend anything at all.
It's kind of what I was thinking.
yeah, that's why I said that,
That's-
yeah. But very generous that they
Yeah,
offered to do that. That's cool. Jenny, can you throw in a minute number in there?
Sure, what would you like it to be? You want it to be 100 or less or?
250?
I think 250, 100 doesn't get.
Yeah.
I was gonna say 500.
That's what I was gonna go first. I was thinking 500, but then I don't want to be like, all Jeremiah wants to do is spend money.
If we need to, and.
Yeah,
Yeah, I would say 500.
And once Chad gets a hold of me, I can email you guys too and be like, this is what it came back with, and just keep you guys informed on that, where it's all sitting at too.
I think that's fair.
Okay.
I have Lori as a motion, I need a second.
I'll second. Jeremiah can, it's fine, he can be on record.
There's Tommy, just removing himself.
Is there any discussion? Any more questions on that? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries.
Any other questions for me?
I have one.
Yeah.
The credit card readers, which we're gonna debut tomorrow night.
Yep. Well, for the second debut, because we already did them for soccer.
Okay. Will there be a convenience charge?
Yes, off the top of my head, I don't remember what it is, but it's in my whole packet thing that I have on my computer.
Okay,
I want to say it's like,
probably around 3% is my,
yeah, something like that.
okay.
I can have them send me like that specific thing and send it back out to you.
Well, I guess I was just curious, cause I know wherever you go and use a card now, there's a fee on it. So
Yeah.
I was assuming there was, but,
Yep, so with Bound, how we are able to get pretty much pretty much nothing is by offering the online ticket portioning either at the door or they can buy them online. And then Stripe, the card company, gets a percentage and then Bound gets a percentage.
okay.
If you click on whatever you sent us, it doesn't say anything about well, it says a processing fee, but
Yeah, they sent me a different debit card breakdown thing.
well, if I do one adult ticket, it's 90 cents.
Yeah, that sounds right.
It's online or at the door also?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and actually, right after the Prairie Conference met with Bound, the next day, the Metro decided to switch to Bound. So now 80% of the whole state is switching to Bound and not using Arbiter, so,
Okay.
yeah.
Alrighty then. Anything else for Kelsey?
Thank you.
Community ed?
I gave you guys a new printout because I had put March 3rd, which isn't even a thing, so I don't know what I was thinking. So that's just a typo, so I changed that and give it to you. The thing I want to talk about tonight is we'll start on the third page, PPK. So over the last year, if you guys remember, we okay going ahead with trying to introduced VPK to our district. So that, what VPK stands for, voluntary pre-kindergarten, which equates to a lot of what we're doing with our preschool. This is a grant that is given out by the state of Minnesota, and there are so many seats that go out each year, and it goes by legislative funding. So every 2 years, you have to reapply for it. Last year was the second year of the grant, and we didn't get it, but we became eligible again. Actually, in December, they got a hold of us and said, hey, this was December 15th. They said, if you can have everything in place by Christmas break day, December 23rd, we will fund you. Well, it was impossible because we couldn't even get the vans and stuff available for that. So, but we are high on the list to receive this because of our poverty. We have a very, very high ELL population. We have a high SPED population. So because of that, in talking to the state and the people that are around that do this, we have a very good chance to qualify for this. So over the past, I would say 4 or 5 weeks, Daniel, myself, and Lisa Wick, who is our representative from Freshwater, have had several meetings about what this would look like in Long Prairie. And we wanted to be more ready this time for it. And then we were supposed to meet, I think it was last week or 2 weeks ago when Daniel was sick. So we canceled that because Tammy was going to join us. And then also we were going to have a representative from Freshwater also do that with Lisa. So Lisa and I went ahead and we finished the grant on our own, and we submitted it because it had to be in last week. So that it's been submitted. And this is kind of a synopsis of what we asked for and some of the parts out of the grant that I just highlighted. It's, VPK, it's really important that it's embedded into your curriculum and what you do. So what we did is we wanted to make sure that the things that we were offering in our VPK program mirrored or paralleled what we had already. So we didn't want to just have a shift away from it because we do have a very successful pre-K program. We score consistently as far as in growth scores, we score way above the 50th percentile, where the state average is. So we do a very good job already. But this would give us a chance to have 4-day-a-week preschool all day. It would also give us, and the thing that's nice about this is it also gives us flexibility to have an offering of half-day preschool, which hasn't happened before. So with this program, with the new VPK, you can have half days, and you can also, with those half days, you just have to extend your day. So instead of having, right now, most of our programs run about 2 hours and 15 minutes. If we extend those to 3 hours or a little bit over, and then move our calendar a little bit longer, we can offer enough hours, because you have to have, I think it's 160 hours. We can offer enough hours in order to meet the VPK standards. So it is my intention, if you look at it, it says proposed program design, we would have 4 full days, with Friday being off. The most you can offer is 4 days. That's the state limit. And then 3 half-days per week with those 3 hours is the big thing at minimum. And then we would extend that calendar from, we'd probably start in the beginning of September or right after we start school, and we'd probably run till May, because right now we're only running with our program, we're only running it till about the beginning of April. So this would extend those, and that would give us enough hours. So we have that flexibility. We did ask for seats in both, so the parents would have a choice to do that. If you look on the back side, this is the target population that we bring. This is what you're supposed to have, and if you look, we check all the boxes. Multilingual learners, children from low-income household, students identified through ECFE screening, we get a lot of identification through that. Children with a limited prior early childhood education experience, we have a lot of those kids that, because of new to country kids or kids that are coming from different places in our country, we have a lot of kids that have not went to pre-K. So they come straight from here to kindergarten. So this would be another reason that we could offer this. And then the last one, any kids with ECSE services, and we have a high ECSE number. We have a Head Start room that actually has about 60% right now that of kids that either qualify for speech or they call it developmental delay. So we check all the boxes for sure. And then there's just some more information about what VPK does. There's a lot of research that has shown, because this is a program that's been around for about 7 or 8 years now, and you can actually see the state actually has some really good numbers on the difference between kids that go to VPK and then your average preschool. So the great thing about this would give us a grant that would help our preschool finances. You know, we're in community ed, that's one of the places that we're always falling short is if you look at the overall Fund 4 budget, the big chunk of that is because the reason we're below budget a lot of times, above budget, is because of our preschool program. It's very hard to charge more than we do because our families can't afford it. And what we charge doesn't even come close to paying for the program. But this program would allow us to do that. So.
We still get the school readiness money.
Yes, we would still get school readiness money, and we would still get our grant. We get a grant that helps families pay if they can't pay. It's called Pathways 1 and Pathways 2. We get Pathways 2. That grant would still be in place. So you can use your Pathways grant to help pay for kids that can't afford the VPK if they don't qualify through one of these ways.
So with this list that you have here,
Yep.
is that the first priority in getting a student into the class?
Yeah, it is, but we've made a decision that we're gonna offer it to everybody. So what we have to do is, through the state program, you have to offer it to those kids first, which we have to now anyway. That's the way the state program is anyway. So even with the preschool funds that we get right now, you have to consider these, which, you can say what you want about it, all SE kids, if you qualify SE, we have to find them a space. We don't have a choice. So even if we have to go over the number that we're supposed to have, we have to get those kids into our program now. So that's the same way with this. But we've made accommodations where we're going to allow anybody who wants to be part of that to do that, and that's how we're gonna use the pathway money, if they can't afford it. So the pathway money would go specifically for the kids who don't qualify. We take that pathway money and apply it to that. And that pathway money is right around $38,000. It's 38 or a little bit more. So it should get us a lot of bang for a buck as far as kids wanna come into it.
How many seats?
We asked for 24 of the full-time, the 4 days. And we asked for, I believe we asked for, we asked for 20 in the other one. That was still flexible, because Lisa kind of took care of that part, because she was the one who was talking to the State Department saying, okay, this is what you can get here. So she has a lot better, we will know a lot more once we meet with her. So, but that's a good question, very good question.
So those 20 seats, are they accounted for the students that we already have, or are these additional seats?
These would be, so for this would take the place of some of the seats we have, but we can still offer our existing program. So even if we got these, we could still offer what we have. That would be a choice that we could do because we're not gonna change anything until we know that we're getting this, because if we don't get it, there's no way we could afford to do this if we wouldn't get the seats that the state would give us, so. Because otherwise it would be way too expensive, because 4 days a week, all day, costs considerably more than what we're paying out now, so.
So between what we already have, but potentially this, then Head Start, we should pretty much have it all.
So that's the other thing that makes us a really good candidate, and something that we can actually get extra funding for. We are considered to be, there's certain things that you have to have, and one of the new qualifiers that helps you get a chance to get this. It's called a mixed delivery system. That's if you allow Head Start to be in your building or a different provider. So we have Head Start right in the building, and we also service them and work with them. We use curriculum back and forth. We invite them to our PD stuff. So that also qualifies us to be what's called a mixed delivery model. So that really helps our chances also. So that's another kind of a feather in our hat, because we do all their ECSE delivery. So I go to all anytime there's an ECSE kid, I go to the IEP. I sit down with the team that delivers that. I go through the service model with them and everything else.
So our current staff, like preschool staff, would then they become employees of the school district and all of the?
No, as of right now, they'll still remain with Freshwater. So we had this conversation, Daniel and I had this conversation, okay, what do we do if our current preschool teachers don't want to do this? And Lisa, Freshwater would provide us with teachers that would want to do this. That's their job. We hire them to do that, so it would be up to them to find the teachers that would want to be in the system. And she said there are teachers right now that are only doing half day that would like to do full day because either better financially, or they just want that opportunity. So she does have some people in mind for it, so. It's a big swing. I mean, I can't guarantee you that this is gonna happen or not, but I think we've done our homework a lot better. So I'm hoping that we have a chance to at least try it, so.
What's the grant cycle on this one? Is it
2
years?
2 years, yep. And so what you have to do, even though you get it for 2 years, you still have to reapply. And that's how they do it every year, because it does go by need. So if there was another place that needed it more, they can reassign that. But as of right now, if you look at the districts, our need compared to other districts, we have higher needs. So I think if we did get it and get new seats, because these would be new seats for the state. If we did get it, I think we would have a good chance of keeping it for quite some time. But it's like any other grant, it can come and go, so. Any other questions?
Sounds like a winner to me.
Yeah, and like I said, I will keep you in tune. We will not find out if we get it probably until, this is what makes it bad, probably until around June. And I will keep you in tune to what's going on. And as I find more information, because I am not a VPK specialist, I have no idea. So Tanya, you had some I will ask those questions. And if you guys, especially Tanya and Lisa, if you guys have questions because you know a lot more than I do about, the preschool, how it works. Even though I do a lot of preschool stuff, I haven't been involved with this. I will keep you guys up to date and let you know, because about the seats and what we could apply for and couldn't, because that comes down to how our service population is in LPGE, so.
Would we have to share anything with St. Mary's?
Not in this one, no,
Okay.
no. We do.
Got their own.
Yeah, they do, but we do have kids that go here and then go right to St. Mary's. I mean, we have some preschool kids that do that, so, because they have limited seats also, so.
So if it's full day, will you offer like the wraparound care?
That's the thing we have to decide, yeah, that's the thing we have to decide. So what wraparound care is, for some of you guys that don't know that, you can offer they would call it, I don't know, it's all academic, but the academic portion of preschool, you can offer that, and then wraparound care would finish out the rest of the day. So you might have 3 or 4 hours of academics, and then there'd be 2 hours of, they do nap time, they do social time, those kind of things. You can offer that in a different setting. So you can offer that actually with a paraprofessional, which kind of saves you some money on the other end, because you wouldn't have a certified teacher with them the whole time. So that's another thing we're considering also, so. Any other questions for me?
What decision points do you would say we have?
Well, I think the big decisions that we just have to make, I think a lot of them, I think we've made, or are being made for us as you get further into this thing. I think that one of the big decision points was what Tanya brought up. Are we gonna allow other kids to join this? And our answer was yes. And when I found out that we could do pathways, that made me feel a lot better, because I didn't know how we were gonna pay for it otherwise. How do you pay for more time when we can't pay for the time we have? But we can use pathways for that. or we can charge. The big thing there would be, how do we mix those 24, or there's 24 seats so that we can have them in there? And you can offer more seats, but then you have to pay, it has to be district expense. So you could offer 15, so we'd be up to, each class would have 15, but then we pay for the other 3, however that would work. So that's a big one. And then I just think if we find out we get it, we would have to have a board. We would have to have the board, and hopefully I would have some more expenses on what's it's gonna cost. It potentially could cost us, and then the other thing would be the configuration for the rooms. We would have to make sure that we have the space before I would accept those seats. Do we have enough preschool space in this building to make sure that we can run a program the way we wanna run it with quality and stuff?
A related note, Freshwater ALC has been talking about moving that Long Prairie site to fully online, which would mean that the space that they have would be available for reconfiguration.
Was kindergarten at one point in time, a long time ago.
Right. Correct. There has been some changes to it, so I don't know if it's as kindergarten friendly. I know that, I think they did some stuff with the bathrooms, and they did some stuff with the size of how high the pencil sharpeners are, but it's not totally irreversible either, so. So that would be a big thing to make sure that we want to go through with it. Like I said, I just wanted to let you guys know that we did decide to go ahead and try to get them. And then there's hoops that you have to jump through even if you receive the seats. So doesn't mean that we're totally in. The board definitely has the right to say, hey, we're gonna back off on this. So, but we're pushing forward with the first part of it anyway, so.
In our administrative strategic planning, having a good solid preschool program, pre-Head Start, that sort of thing, I feel like is pretty beneficial to when the kids start school, as our population has very mixed, very diverse. So we have families that don't speak English at home, and a high number of special needs coming in, and so getting students prepared to be ready for school is a little different than it used to be. And even just getting used to stand in line, listen to the teacher, some of that stuff is a little different than it used to be too.
Try teaching them to do a jumping jack. I dare you. Or
How
burpee. Or burpee.
Oh, skipping?
That's
Just
hard.
go watch my 4th grade girls basketball team, you'll see a lot of skipping.
Okay, sounds wonderful, Brad, good luck.
Thank you.
Okay, technology.
Mitchell, you've changed.
Got anything to add to what he said?
Too much. Yeah, but things have been going really well with like Skyward and everything, so it's been quite fun to learn about like the differences and how this new system has changed compared to our existing one. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah, we got some webinars also coming up as well, so it'll be fun to continue learning about that, and yeah.
Good. So you're gonna keep us electronically good.
Yeah, you could say that.
All right, business manager. Any questions for Sherry?
No questions for Sherry? And the health service report, do we have that in here? Oh, there it is, gotcha.
And that's written by Melissa from her health department, or health offices. And she might not have one every board meeting, but plans to provide one on a regular basis.
That's crazy that 647 headaches in a month, that's a lot. I mean, poor kids. Do you know offhand if that illness stuff is kind of subsiding? Oh, you're not real sure.
Well,
think so.
I can't say yes, but like, I would say it's slowing down, but like not by a lot. Because the thing we're seeing is that, and I think Brad is currently sick, I'm coming off being sick. went to church and Josiah Tonder was coming out being sick, like it hangs out for years.
What they're seeing
Sherry was
is
sick.
kind of a new variant. Now it's not necessarily the upper respiratory stuff, it's the stomach stuff that's happening right now.
I just wonder about the headaches. Do we check the air quality? I know we've done all this, but have they been looking at it to make sure it's not, a leaky pipe or something
Yeah, Russ
extreme with
does
the
that,
temperature?
well, secondary building, and I'm sure it's the same over here. Russ does a great job of keeping that up and running and everything. But I think it's every 15 minutes, all the air in the building is exchanged at a 15-minute rate, so. Not that I've heard of, and Russ hasn't indicated
Yeah,
anything.
I think with all the headaches, you gotta be careful that there's not a gas leak. I don't even know, some odd thing that.
We have a health and safety company too that we contract with that comes in monthly and deals with various things from radon to lead and water and all
Yeah.
that stuff. And they also do indoor air quality for us as well. And they try to measure, they measure when the students are in the building because of the carbon dioxide levels and all that stuff. So if anybody does have a complaint, and that'd be something to let you know, if you hear of anybody, have them report it probably to me. And then I'll get a hold of Wayne is the name of our guy, and he can specifically spot check some of those rooms. One good example was one summer down in the 4th grade wing of the elementary. They were having trouble. Come to find out that the grass clippings had been blown against the vents on the outside of the wall. And so they needed to clean up the clippings, but it took somebody to turn that in and say, something's not right here. They went down and that's what they found out. So if you hear anything of a specific area, it can be sent. And they
Yeah, because
do,
it could be the snow,
Yep.
something could have
yep,
froze
absolutely.
out there, how cold it is.
But yeah, they'll check it like once a year kind of thing, but then also they'll spot check if we ask them to.
The secondary, the HVAC project, which is almost all done, there are a few odds and ends, increase the air quality there. Cause you guys remember there was an assessment of that beforehand because of the exchange of air, like Mr. Rude was saying. I do know at the elementary, if you take a look at our 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 4th grade wings, if you measure the looms or the lights in the rooms, that they're very high. And that can contribute to headaches. And so I know I've been talking about with the custodians about when we replace the lights, if we use lower looms or different things. Because when we replaced the lights a few years ago, we had looked at like a dimmer, but unfortunately the cost was fairly high to do that. But our looms in those rooms are actually, if you have all the lights on, some rooms can turn half of them off. They're technically high enough to do surgery, so it's a little bit bright.
So I know some of the teachers kind of covered some of them with something. Do they still do that on some of them, or can they not do that anymore?
Yes and yes. So you can, to a certain extent, and so we have talked to the custodians a little bit, but it's something to kind of keep in the back of your mind as it does contribute to headaches. However, I do know the illness is going around, a lot of congestion, so a lot of headaches with that.
We're still under masking mandates at the hospital, so. Thank you for that added bit of information.
Anything else on the health report? Okay, principals. Congratulate those ladies again. That's very nice. Good of them to get their pillars of excellence and educators of excellence. February 16th, PD day, that went well.
That went very well.
Yeah.
Yeah, good reports on that, and it just gave the staff a lot more time to, doing vertical alignment as well as within the departments, and grade levels, I should say, so. I think more of that, we've always been focusing more on that as years have gone by, so the more we do with that, especially with all the changes we got coming in and science and reading, the standards, so. Good stuff.
Good stuff. Have you gotten to hire new folks yet?
We finished up, in secondary, we finished up on science, we're working on English and looking at some different possibilities with that. Some of the questions we got, things we wanna do, and we're gonna be moving that directions with the CAPTI testing. And that's gonna be more of an intervention model, how do we utilize that within the department itself? So we've been in discussions with, Mr. Ludwigson on that, there's some different options there. So, that's good though.
I was asked questions about our CLC and the English program with Mr. Blanchard having done college level courses. Where are those things at?
Okay, yes, so with the CLC, fortunately, we've got staff who want to expand on that. So right now, for the English portion of that, Mr. Johnson is indicating, he's moving in that direction. It won't be a clean turnover, but right now, we've kind of got that worked out for next year already, so he wants to take more on that end. He's just gotta get queued up on his end. The rules are changing from the feds towards these colleges about who can teach and what, and the licensure. That's really what's hitting everybody, but, hats off to Mr. Prinsberger over at CLC, he does a fantastic job with, working with the schools and getting us squared up. So we're in a good position, I think, as you look at the next 2 to 3 years right out the gate. We're also looking at some expansion in some other areas for CTE. So that's gonna be a good thing. So we're in a good position right now, going into the future. And with our most recent science hiring, that'll get us to the next level as time rolls through and staffing and all that. So I feel pretty confident with that.
Things straightened out from Chet not having to. Chet used to get college credit for the whole year, now it's only half a year, right?
Yeah, it's just the way we have it scheduled out right now. I have to think back at the top of my head, but right now, yeah, the students are not losing out. I think what's gonna be looking at the future is how does online programming, PSEO, how do all these things factor into what we do and how we do things? For rural schools especially, it's always a challenge. I think we're fortunate because, long before I was here, Mr. Ludwigson, you as a board jumped on that as a community and said, we're gonna do this. And that set us up so we're not trying to start something and it takes years. We've got it continuing, we're just gonna try to expand here and expand over there, and what options we have. So it'll be interesting to see what AI thinks of all this. That's in the back of my mind, because it's kind of driving the ball in a lot of areas. So, Bantam, for instance, is gonna be, which we use for credit recovery, is moving towards a AI-generated grading system. Yeah. Okay, so think about that for a second. So a lot of these things, I think, are gonna be kind of morphing as we go through the next 2, 3, 4, 5 years. So expanded opportunities, I think.
Good.
We just adapt as we always do.
There was one of the reports was installation of a vape detection system in a secondary school. How far?
I know nothing, Senator, I have no recollection of that conversation.
Senator.
More information forthcoming.
We're exploring.
Looking into it.
Okay, Annie, changing the subject. Anything from the board? I did take, I took officer's training. I think Tom took officer's training. Lori took officer's training. I already told you kind of some of the stuff I learned about that. It's changing, but it's still kind of the same, so when they tell us new things, we'll let you know.
So my hometown has started doing this where on Fridays they invite senior citizens in to come and have lunch meetings. And it's pretty cool. I don't know, I know the senior center here, something's going on with that. I don't know if they're doing all meals or what they're doing. I don't know.
I haven't talked to Jody forever.
Yeah, there was something being cut there.
I think she's gone.
I don't know what it was.
I think she's gone, wasn't she?
She's just on vacation, she'll
On
be back.
vacation, yeah.
Did you know about that?
What?
Senior center, if it's.
They're not
Stop
offering,
doing meals?
yeah, they're not offering meals right now.
Yeah. So then I got to thinking, well, I wonder if that's something that would work, or if that would be really hard to do.
I bet it would cost a pretty penny.
I don't know.
At
I
the
mean,
elementary, I bet
there's
they'd have
there's
steps. So
adults
there's an
and
elevator though.
child food programs. I mean, do they qualify, you know?
They would be an adult, just like the teachers, would I would imagine.
I know Mr. Rude has done something with the elderly, he stepped out, so I assume at some point he'll step back in. I know we have like a, kinda like a grandparents program at the elementary that they come in and, they work with the kids, and that's a great program to,
They started the high school volunteers at the assisted living now too.
yeah.
The second grade's also doing, they do read with the.
Yeah.
read with the girls.
I just thought if they aren't getting together for meals at the senior center, wouldn't it be fun for them to, you know, even, I don't know how it would work, but it was an idea, and I could find out how they're making it work.
Good.
You know, because they come into the public school for lunch and they sit with the kids and have lunch. Yeah.
That'd be good.
Yeah, I just was really impressed with it, so that's something new for them, so I'll look into it and
Yeah,
just
you
see.
can get some details, see how
Yeah.
it works. That'd be good.
I mean, what's the cost for a adult meal? Is it $3, $4 something?
It's like $4 or $5.
It's like around 5.
Is it $5 now?
Yep.
Back in my day.
You're actually mandated by the state what you have to charge,
Oh, I suppose now because of the universal lunch.
yep,
Yep.
so.
But with the senior center, did they pay for their lunches there?
So this summer when they were doing lunches, it's because various businesses like sponsored it. Cause I know like
And
the,
that might be how they're doing it too.
yeah, so like Centric Care did the first one. It was in the grant I wrote that we had the funds to do this. And then, it kinda just caught on after that, like Clint from Griff's did it one week and then, Viva Bar did it another week and stuff like that. Just kind of,
And you went and served it then too, correct?
yes,
Yeah.
yeah. So,
Mr.
go ahead.
Mr. Rude, when you stepped out, we started talking about the things we do with the senior citizens and the homes. I know that you've taken some groups over and done some things.
Yeah, we did we started with it's a volunteer program. About 10 kids right now, working volunteer-wise over at the assisted living facility, so. Basically, we just got it started, they can work on their own at the assisted living facility, they take care of recording all their hours, we'll write recommendation referrals for them, especially for scholarship purposes as well as employment, and then we'll hire students if they want to work as a part-time job there. Otherwise, it's a voluntary program where they get to just work with, with the assisted living facility itself and work with the clientele over there. So it's a really good program, and we're gonna have another meeting, kind of assess where everybody is at, but it's really up to students to take care of that and do that on their own. Aside from that, of course, we have choir going up there on a regular basis, up to a couple of assisted living. The one up on, the Valley View up on top of the hilltop, they go up there quite a bit to do some singing and that, so it's, that's what we've got going on at the secondary. It's just walking distance really, and it's a good community project for the kids to get to see everybody in the community, so.
Yeah, that's good. It's good for our kids to get out.
Absolutely.
Anything else from the board?
It sounds like a good idea, Tanya. It's just
Yeah, for sure.
trying to figure out how to.
Yeah, I'll see what they do and how they can get work.
What's your hometown? Is that Wisconsin or Minnesota?
Wisconsin.
I don't know, she's had. Okay.
All the way.
Superintendent's report, please.
So, feel free to ask me any questions. The information we're getting about compensatory aid right now is that we probably won't really get an answer probably till May. Because it's a bit of a political football, and the main question for us is if we get to use the paper forms. The preliminary run, which is like worst case scenario, showed about a little more than $1 million in compensatory, which compared to this year's a little more than a $700,000 difference in reduction. Chances are it would be more than that. And if I played around with the formula, if they did allow us to use paper formulas, we'd be about the same place we were, but so we just kind of waiting on the legislature for that. But our enrollment is steady. I would expect that to end higher than it did last year. Any specific questions on my report? Working on getting information in on next cycle on the solar grant. You guys may not be aware that we've applied and have been in the running twice. Done a lot of the legwork already. I'm told that it's a higher award portion this time, potentially upwards to 100%. So we'll see. Just beginning stages and just recycling the information from the last two rounds.
I thought, excuse me, but I thought we didn't do it because there was no place to put the solar panels.
We couldn't put them on the roof, but they figured out they could put them on the ground by where the heat pumps are underground.
At the secondary. There's no place to do it at the elementary. The roofs aren't graded.
No.
Which is probably kind of a bummer because I'm sure this building is not cheap to heat or light or.
Right. Are we doing the contracts under new business?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else under your report then?
Get some information on Title IX, just good stuff to know. If you're not aware, the interpretations of some aspects as you switch presidential administration does change.
Kelsey,
Yeah.
do we have any issues with birth boys playing on girls' teams? Or are we having any trouble with that? Great. Thank goodness. I maybe didn't say that correctly, but you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. And we have unfinished business is coming up, so any board highlights, anybody got things they'd like to commend the school for? I think the senior programs that we're working with are good, great.
Winter sports are wrapping up, so I want to say congratulations to those kids and the achievements they've made this year.
We did some good ones, I think.
Oh.
Good. Felt bad for wrestling. They were close.
It's close.
Anything else, board highlights? Get ready for the concerts, they're coming again quicker than we think. Track season starts pretty quick.
2 weeks.
2 weeks. Baseball season must start 3 weeks. Softball, same thing.
2.
We got any golf in the spring?
Golf, yeah, golf's in 3 weeks.
Where are you gonna practice all those kids?
Golf goes to Browerville. They have like a simulator over there. And then track is in the main gym, and then softball, baseball splits through late, depending on the week.
Over here?
Well, junior high, yes, is over here, and then 9-12 is over.
Busy.
But by that time, it's gonna be like 60 degrees out, so.
Track is gonna be melted off.
Yeah.
Everything.
They'll use the turf.
Speaking of the track, one thing I'd probably visit at a later board meeting is like what a rental policy is, especially with having a nice new turf field, but being one of those things that somebody could rent.
We've had a lot of requests within the last 3 weeks.
Yeah, I got a request from a company that does elite camps, and they've been using Alex, and he hasn't come to an impasse with Alexandria because they're very, very expensive compared to everybody else. And he came and looked at our turf this fall, and I got a return call from him last week, wanting to know if we would book those out, but I'm not booking them out until Kelsey and I sit down and talk, and then we talk about what we wanna charge, but.
Well, I wouldn't do it cheap just to get them here.
No.
I mean,
No, that'd be the opposite, but there's definitely nothing to be made if we want to do it, if we want to go that route.
Conversations we've had is that, even for our school, like our auditorium and our gymnasiums and stuff, we get a lot of outside rentals, like the Republican Party, for example. And that's because we're a lot cheaper to rent than anybody close by. And obviously, we want to make for our programs like our youth football and youth volleyball and basketball, it'd be very affordable for those. But we really need to take a look at our outside agencies, especially those ones from other communities. We really need a more competitive pricing because if you look at that activities calendar, the buildings are booked constantly. And it does create a strain on our custodial services among other things. And so, like I said, we want to be good to our own community, but we really should look at our pricings as far as when we start going past our like school sponsored and school partnered events for sure.
all right, I think we're on to unfinished business.
Yep.
We're gonna talk about Soldiers Field. Luan, come with any further information for us?
The city's responsible for all the liabilities on that. We did find the lease, and I spoke to our insurance. They got the lease to you guys, so I told the city they need to double check on, there's like wells underneath there, but if the dirt work doesn't disturb that, like on the, I don't really see a reason we should tell them that they can't.
As long as they fix it if they break it.
Yep, and they're responsible for whatever they do, so.
Do we need a motion on that?
Are they going to replace the infield with clay again, or is that gonna be dirt?
I don't specifically know that. I know that the intent is to level that off
Right.
so that there isn't such an incline. Then when they put the stuff out for the rink, it's just a lot easier.
Is that to level off the soccer field too? Or is that ice rink? No, you're right, it was ice rink.
Yeah,
It's water.
because, there's like a little dip in there where you could, when you're skating, you could see when you're, yeah. Well, it doesn't work very well for hockey.
So do we need to motion to get them to be able to do that, or they just,
I guess since we like motion to table it probably, but I mean, you could just phrase it as have me work with the city too and give me administrative discretion if you have liability or something like that.
okay, so that motion that he said, I need to do that. We should tell them that they can do it.
Right, the motion would be to give the city, or Dan permission to work with the city to do the.
Make sure all the liabilities are all
Yeah,
square.
and the landscaping. We're making it look really beautiful.
I mean, technically there'd be landscaping involved.
Pretty much that's what they're doing.
Can I add something, Daniel? I do not believe that would be able to be used as a ball field anymore, just so you guys know that. You had asked that question.
Right,
I
so,
think they're going to, this is just talking to Luann Brunkhorst. And this was not an official visit. It was standing by my car one day and she said, oh yeah, my kids rode hockey rink, whatever. So, I think what they wanna do is they want to backfill and make it level. But the intention is to either put grass or something else. I don't think it'll be to return it back to a ball field, so.
it's not utilized that often anymore as a ball field, is it?
No, the only time it is used, we use it in the spring only for practice for Little League Baseball. So, but now with the city allowing us to use Rosen all the time, It probably gets used 3 to 4 times a year, 5 times a year, that's it.
And that's on top of the additional ball field that's down by,
So I would entertain a motion.
So moved.
I'll
To
second.
allow Daniel to work with the city on that.
We just get them to buy it back and then they can put their splash pad there and park if they wanna do.
There is something with the school selling that, there's some way back when the school got possession of it. There's something way back in the deed or something that says we can't sell it.
So it was probably donated to us with the understanding.
Yep, there was some sort of donation or something, and I don't know specifically what it was, but I do remember hearing it several times in my lifetime.
It's really old, though.
Yeah,
Old thing.
it's,
Yep. It's ours.
yeah.
Forever.
Forever, yep. Okay, so I have a motion and a second to let Daniel work with the city on fixing the park. Is there any further discussion? Any more questions? Tom motion, Jeremiah second.
It'll look really good in there with Zastro and Sako.
Z's.
Yep.
Any more questions? Any more thoughts? One more time. Anything else? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. We could turn paper over. We just did that. Never mind. Donations then. It's a short read. Thank you very much, donors. It truly helps our school do the fun things, the extra special things. Debbie Bruder donated $100 for the Kylie Goff Scholarship. Long Prairie Rotary Club donated $175 for the secondary activity day. Thank you very kindly, folks. I will need a motion.
I'll motion.
I'll second.
Lori. Jeremiah. Any questions? Discussion? Any more discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. District's proportionate share of LTFM with state freshwater.
Yep, and it's all the districts within the freshwater, basically, we all have to approve the LPGE be able to levy for their long-term facility maintenance.
So what they are doing is what we do for our district. Now they are wanting and needing to do it for freshwater.
Yep.
So all of our taxpayers are gonna be paying a share to freshwater.
That'd be like the whole freshwater
Yeah.
district.
Do we know, what's the percentage of that? Do we know?
It's in the document.
It's in the board book.
Is it? Okay.
94, I think. I think I saw it.
93, I've got it right up, right here, I know.
So this will be an addition on our next taxes, correct?
Ours is 8.36%.
Yeah, it comes out of-
It'll be
taxes, it
another
doesn't-
line on the property
I
tax.
believe so. It'd be like one of those special funds. that we-
Yeah.
And then it'll say freshwater on it, right?
But every district is doing it, right?
Yeah. I
Yeah.
think they have to.
Yeah.
State says ed districts get to do that.
Okay, so this would go from the county, freshwater doesn't come through us
I
to,
believe that's.
And I think it'll flow through, I think it'll come to us and then they'll put it on the bill. Kinda like we do the lease levy and stuff, that's all on the freshwater bill, it'll say lease, it'll say all that stuff. I think it goes as a flow through that way.
okay.
So what happens if the district says no?
They wouldn't have been able to do it.
So even a district that is assessed at 0, like their contribution 0, if that district says no, technically that would make the whole thing not work, so they all have to say yes.
And the state tells us we have to, right?
Otherwise freshwater would just have to bill us, and we wouldn't be able to levy for it, so. 'Cause it would get moved to, I think they would call it program assessments.
So either way, we'd be paying for it.
Yeah.
This just sounds better.
Well, yeah, because if they did that, it'd come out of like a general fund versus us paying,
Correct.
yeah, okay.
Okay, so I need a motion.
I'll motion it.
Lori,
I'll second it.
Tom. Any discussions? Any more questions on that? Any more discussion?
On a brief note, if you have a $200,000 home, this would have a $1.16 impact on you.
Cool.
But I don't know if I can vote for that then.
All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Thank you, Jeremiah. We had quite the discussion on the pre-K discussion. Do we need to talk about that anymore?
Do you guys have any further questions or clarifications on that? Brad's been doing a lot of work with the grant writing.
I think we all like free money, so. I think we'll know more once Brad knows more.
I'll put decision points out there for you guys, it's not like I'm very forward, so if you ever wanna pull back or you have questions, you'll have a chance, I guarantee you'll have chances to stay down to it. So, and I'll keep trying to keep you updated, Lisa does a pretty good job of letting us know what's happening, so. And she works really well with people that are in charge of that.
I think it only benefits. If the kids are readier for kindergarten, they'll be readier for first, second, third, fourth, all the way up, so. I don't know how. So if you can afford it, it would be a good thing.
Right.
Do we wanna do master contracts for the option, or how do you wanna go with the next part?
We can do the master contracts, cause those would be, we have the teacher one, I sent that out, I worked on it, like the stuff that you would've got today, like, thank Jeremiah for catching that, I had added soccer to the appendix, so I got that in there. Clerical and support union, you guys have had a longer chance to look at that. And, that we went through with our negotiation committee. The language that was modified for the teacher's contract went through legal. One of the I would say wins for the district is that all of them have some version of the language where when we're paying the insurance benefits, it's based on paid time. And what that means is, unless somebody's in protected leave, which would be basically paid family medical leave, or paid status, that is how their benefits are prorated for insurance. That means if I've been gone a lot and I'm just taking an unpaid day, we're not paying you the benefit for that day that you're not working, that you don't have leave for anymore.
I can guarantee you guys, and I think Tom would agree, the three of us worked hard on these, and we had good discussions with the groups. And I think we came to lots of compromises, and
Yeah, fun fact on the teacher one, like the end product was actually like it cut half of the board proposal and half of the teacher proposal and meshed them together.
Is there anything that you guys really wanted that you didn't get?
not really.
No.
No, it was good, fair discussions on both sides.
Yeah. Well, I think that's what they say, everybody gets something, but not everything, that's what makes it a deal.
Yeah. I guess the big thing the teachers wanted was to move the bottom up. And that we're not jumping it.
Right,
We compromised on that portion.
You're talking about the scale.
Yep, we compromised on that portion and we are getting it up
Yeah,
to, basically to where they wanted it.
we
It's
saw,
not in year one and year two, it's in there.
yeah, I was gonna say, looking over it or reviewing it, it looks like we saw that kind of same, which could potentially be same problem with step 1 and 2, where you get like basically a $250 raise from year 1 to year 2.
Yeah, so what, we got the bottom up, but I suppose what you could say would be our compromise was that the middle gets squeezed to make that salary schedule work.
Right.
and squeeze is maybe not the perfect word, but like, it still has that very kind of it starts off slow and it builds up faster as you get more years of experience.
We did do a few things to strongly encourage folks not to miss so much school.
Right.
So that I think is money in our pocket basically, because they don't get to miss school, so we don't have to pay substitutes.
Right. Yes, 'cause substitutes are expensive.
It's crazy, but we pay for that. So I will make a motion, I move that we approve these 3 contracts as it was a committee that did this, and I guarantee you the committee worked hard on these. Had very good discussions, what do we call them, their union reps, the people in our building and the lady that come in before and the guy here. So, I would make that motion that we approve these 3 contracts.
I will second it.
Is there any discussion, any more questions on those? Any more discussion?
Nope.
Any discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. Individual contracts, I think, Daniel, are we just gonna kind of?
Just the one, is that what I'm finding?
No, there is, you don't have a copy of it, there is one for the food service that went out on the email.
I did give him a copy.
Okay, okay, there it is, there's 2.
Yep.
I have been working with Skylar, but we had a lot of language stuff to go over, and, which is perfectly fine, so we're gonna spend some time making sure that's all cleaned up and buttoned up. Because, the contracts last cycle, when they were written, had language that sounded, for, the simplest way to put it is like, a lot like collective bargaining agreements, which they're not. So I worked with legal to clean up some of that language, which ended up in kind of a template rewrite. So that's why me and Skylar are visiting more. And so I worked to get one together for the onboarding specialist. I know you guys haven't had a lot of time. I worked with the timeline I've had, so you have to decide what you want to do there. And then I have the food service one there. And I'm starting some discussions with individual people, but my hope is that Wednesday when we meet with the custodial union, that goes well, and that when we come in March, that hopefully we see a bunch more.
Tom, you want the negotiating committee to go over these before we approve or what?
I do have some, I guess, the one for, the onboarding specialist, I believe we should have more time to look at.
Yeah, we just got that today.
Yeah, that just came tonight, and it was the first we saw of it. I did ask Daniel a question on this other one. You would advise us to approve that tonight in hopes that what you mentioned comes through.
Yeah. I'm working to make sure that we have a good end of the year with the kitchen and have prospects for having our options available to all parties involved.
So then I think we should, from what I was told this morning, I believe it would be a good thing to approve the food service director contract at this time.
You making that a motion there?
Yes.
I'll second that.
Okay, I have a motion and a second by Tom and Lori to approve Mr. Treewaller's contract. Further discussion? Further discussion? Further discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Motion carries. And we will discuss when the committee gets to look at the onboarding one.
You know me, as I get through the individual ones, I suppose I haven't sent anything to you now, so. Probably.
And we should be able to approve those all next month, I think. This is February, right?
Got it.
Understand.
I got, the next one I'll probably send you guys way, have some LPA I'm expecting. And for all those people on individual contracts wondering on timelines, it just depends.
Patience, Brad. Patience, Brad.
I've only started on MOUs, so those will take a little longer.
Okay, then, the auction stuff. What do you do?
So I have a list of items from Russell. I think they made it to the board packet. There'll probably be more items next month, but we can't like look at selling anything unless it's approved for surplus sale, because it's public property. And then I started some conversations with Mr. Jurset about working with the FFA department. And what I plan to work out is like certain items like the tractor, I want to be sold for like going towards some sort of purchase of equipment that the custodials need. Like, there's a lot of other things, for sure, for a great example is like the tanks that they're replacing for FFA, but like we have a lot of stuff that's just sitting in rooms too. That if they're assisting me with the auction sale, I think it'd be appropriate to let it go towards their organization, and I know they need money. So that's what I'm currently kind of working on.
And the turf, have you decided, or are you working with people to figure out how much we're gonna keep and how much we're gonna sell?
Yeah, first, cause I need it on the surplus sale to be considered for sale, but we probably won't sell everything on that list.
Okay.
Cause my intent is to use some of that turf towards
The playground?
playground.
Okay. That was my next question.
Yeah, and then we'll have to determine how much we wanna keep on hand. And the turf itself isn't terribly valuable, the expensive part is installing it. So we do have plenty though, so we'll I'll work with the custodians and our departments to determine how much we really need to keep on hand. Cause obviously we don't need to keep stuff that's gonna lose value.
Right.
But we do wanna keep some on hand for patches and repairs.
Do we need a motion to approve this stuff as sellable stuff, extra stuff?
Yep.
So I need that motion pretty please.
I move that we sell the stuff that has been presented on the list.
I'll second that.
Hey, forget about me over here.
Any questions or discussion? Any questions or discussion? Any more questions or discussion? All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
And opposed? Motion carries. We're done.